Hello. So today we are going to talk about value propositions. You might remember while discussing ideal customer profile for B2B or B2C settings as well as competitor analysis, we discussed certain types of KPIs or challenges which bother the customers. So all these things actually are transformed into value proposition phrases or statements to inspire customers to buy our services. Now, there is a very thin difference between a core offering and value proposition statement. Let's have an example. For instance, you are a software agency and you are providing software solutions of development in React or .NET framework or any other platform. So when you advertise yourself as a software development agency to the customers are least interested to buy your services because this is what every second or third software house is doing. So how do you make yourself presentable and relatable to the customers? If your customers are lying in some construction industry and your software solution services are actually addressing some of their challenges or pain points, that needs to be transformed into proper statements, which we call value proposition statement. For instance, if your software services or your solutions are integrating all their payments schedules or they are reducing their operational burden or they are reducing their cost in bringing everything all together or integrating their entire system, we need to present it like that we will be reducing your cost from 30 to 40%, or because of our solution, your industry or your company's effectiveness, business growth is likely to increase from 60 to 70%. Your revenues will be boosting up from this to this stage, or so many other things. But that should be very much industry specific pain point. That's what you just collected while collecting the ideal customer profiles attributes. So most of the value proposition statements not only work on their benefit, but also to encourage them through prevention of certain loss or risk. So this is what we do it in value proposition framework. For this, we have an exclusive workbook, and now we will go through these steps how to define a value proposition statement for your services. Let's have a look on the screen. Let's have a look at the instructions. You will have to answer each section very carefully to define your startup's unique value proposition. You can use hints for the guidance while answering your questions, and you need to be very much concise but very specific. So you need to be concise as well as specific. So as we just talked about, that we have to consider both the service perspectives like benefits, features, or experiences, and the customer perspectives in which their needs or their wants are addressed, or we are just relating to their fears. Now, what type of examples can be there? Let's have a look. First of all, let's understand your customers. We have to define our target audience in a very clear way, like they are individual, they are small businesses, they are large enterprises, or any others. You can go for more than one options over here. Now we need to see what customer problems, needs, and wants and fears we do know. For instance, we addressed this thing in our ideal customer profile persona, that if you have collected, you need to know now that what are your customers' problems and needs, whether they are looking for some financial integration solution or they are just trying to come up with a different market positioning through branding services, through landing pages, or some other SEO optimization tools, or whatever it is. According to your startup's relatability, as well as your customers' needs in your industry, it needs to be identified very clearly. Then there must be some wants. So we are differentiating the problems and needs with the wants. The wants relate to what do they actually desire or aspire to. For instance, a customer's want is described as that they want to be placed among top 10 companies in the country in a certain area of the industry. Like they want to be the number one company in the financial sector, in financial integrations or SAP solutions or whatever it is. Or there could be like they're an e-commerce store and they want to be highlighted or ranked as one of the top e-commerce store in the country in a specific niche. So that could be their desire or they can aspire to. And then what are their fears? What risks or barriers prevent them from choosing your solution? So over here, we need to identify such fears from the customer side. Like they might be feeling that I do not trust a third party solution provider. I am very much afraid of budget because my budget doesn't allow me. I cannot share my confidential information with any third party solution provider. So all these wants, needs, and fears should be identified and listed down over here. Now, in the second section, we will be talking about competitive differentiation. So here we see, why should customers choose your service over competitors? So as a hint, we are just giving you some example that what makes your solution unique. Like you can consider cost of your services, the quality, the support, convenience, or customization, or anything like that. So all these things you can check to apply. Either it's a low cost or you have a better customer support or you are having a higher quality and you are not falling somewhere around lower cost. Then there is a list of unique features, what we just identified in our competitive analysis, where we can see that we already have defined a comprehensive analysis as compared to our competitor in the market. So from there, we can easily see that our unique features are really going to play a big role or not. We are more convenient. We can have customized options, or we are just selling a package which is pre-built. So whatever these things are, we need to identify ourselves in the very right category. Section 3 talks about service perspectives. So what features actually define your service? After offering these features, what benefits our services can offer to the customers? For instance, we can explain all the benefits, like how our service improve the customer's life or business, such as they can save money, they can reduce their risk, or they can increase efficiency. That's the thing we just talked about in our value proposition statement. So what kind of experience does our service provide? So that relates to the emotional connection the customers have with our service, such as convenience, ease of use, or peace of mind. So now we will be defining and mapping our value proposition. Let's have a look at the section 4, value proposition mapping. Now we will have to match the customer pain points to the service features which we are claiming to solve, and then what type of value a customer can drive out of these services or features we are providing them. For instance, over here, we had a customer pain point that they were feeling a very big trouble in integrating their financial information. They did not have the transparency or availability of true information all the times. And your software solution is basically providing them a service to integrate their financial invoices, their ledgers, and a compact solution to bring each and every bit and byte of their information on the dashboard or on the table. So this information can be valued like that your strategic decision making improves from 3 to 5 times, or your revenues are boosted up, your cost of your businesses, which are hidden cost actually, are reducing from 30 to 40%. So these things can be narrated as a value for them, and this is where the customers are going to be attracted towards you. Then we see crafting our value proposition statement. So there is a very pet formula and a rule of thumb for a value proposition statement in which we just define 5 to 6 things very conveniently that we define for certain type of target customer who is actually looking for, and there we just talk about their customer pain point. We have developed, now there is a service name actually you are offering. That helps. That's now the main benefit or the value proposition actually we were talking about. The service solution is actually helping them with a certain benefit, which we just talked about. Unlike, now this is not compulsory, but you can adopt it. Unlike the competitor or alternative, so that you can compete with others and you can distinguish yourself from others, we offer certain type of differentiation. So these are 6 basic things for customers who is looking for certain things. We have developed ABC solution that helps in XYZ manner. Unlike ABC competitors, we offer certain type of ABC differentiations so that customers could be attracted towards your sales message. Now, in section C, we see evaluation and refinement of the value proposition. So before we publish or advertise our value propositions, we have to evaluate and refine our statements after answering the following questions. First of all, how do you measure levels of performance in the eyes of your customers? So over here, you can just see what type of customer feedback you are using, or you're having a net promoter scores, or you are having direct reviews. You can well evaluate yourself from here, whether your value proposition is a well-crafted, well-defined, and well-proposed statement or not. Then, in what ways do you help your customers save money? So if you're talking about their cost effectiveness, or like they can just save their money, are you offering this thing through a lower price or discounts or flexible pricing or just cost saving features or whatever it is? You have to answer these questions so that you could identify yourself where actually you are falling in. What makes you trustworthy in the eyes of your customers? So the trust can be from certifications, guarantees, transparencies, consistent services, or association with certain type of quality certification bodies and organizations. So, or you can have certain benchmarks which you have achieved or threshold you have achieved. So it talks about all of these things. If you are having a trustworthy positioning in the eyes of your customer, then what actually you are trying to prove over here, through what means you are making this claim acceptable. How do you streamline processes for your customers? So does your service save their time, reduce their complexity, or you make an automation of their task? So in what exact manner or way you are actually addressing their pain point? How do you demonstrate that you value the customer's time? It may include a fast delivery, a simple user interface, quick response time, or anything like that. How do you align with your customer's value or identity? So over here, customers may prefer brands that reflect their values, such as sustainability or innovation. For instance, you are working to solve an incubator or accelerator's pain point. So if you relate yourself with innovation or sustainability or green solutions, they may relate it with you very concisely. And there are very higher chances that they would like to be engaged with you because they find you on the same scale where they themselves are lying. So do you provide additional benefits that ensure customer loyalty? So over here, you can consider loyalty programs, exclusive content, or personalized services. Then comes, in what ways do you cater to different customer demographics or psychographics? Over here, you talk about different customer groups with varying needs and how does your service adapt to them. For instance, if there are European customers, they might have a different psychographic or demographic set with them. So how much compatibility you are making while making a value proposition statement to them. How do you contribute to your customers' social standing or societal impact? So, does your service help customers make a social impact or enhance their status or contribute to a cause? For instance, you can talk about that we help you making a sustainable, not for profit organizational solution which helps you preventing the poverty, the illiteracy, or something like that. So when you relate with some social causes, it can be in energy, it can be in water optimization, or any green technology solution that also resonates with them. It depends in which sector and in which type of business they are actually following. How do you enhance the personal or professional growth of your customers? So over here, you can talk about like your service contribution to their skills, their careers, or personal lives in a very meaningful way. So after answering all these questions, you can better decide whether this value proposition statement, which we decided in section 5 as well as section 4, where they are actually falling. Once you make certain statements, you evaluate them, then you are in a better condition or situation to see which one fits better with the customer in your right industry. Remember, for each type of industry or each type of customer ICP, you may have to change your value proposition accordingly. It's not like that for one company offering different solutions to different markets or one solution to different markets, one value proposition statement will work. No, it's not like that. We will have to tune it according to the customer's needs, wants, fears, and risks, and their geographic, demographic, and psychographic factors. So this is for all, and we hope that you will be able to craft a well narrated and attractive value proposition statement for your services. Thank you.